my voice will carry. Right, y'all can hear me? Yeah. Well, we are live for our Women's Appreciation Day panel, sponsored by Men IQ. My name is Chevelle. I'm going to be handing it off to the one and only Jaffa. He is one of the real leaders of our community. He's in a lot more corners of the community than you may realize. And we're proud to have him part of our organization and the host of our panel today. So that's enough to the job.
Thank you, brother. Oh man, how y'all feeling today? Awesome, man. We Women's Appreciation Day. How you feeling today? You feel amazing. You look amazing. All right, you ready to do this panel? Y'all didn't know this is my boo up there. Me and my boo gonna do this panel on Women's Appreciation Day. So, y'all want to just hop straight into it? How what we doing? We just I do icebreaker question and just roll through.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, bet. So look, first of all, to the guests, thank y'all for coming out as well. Y'all amazing. Icebreaker question is tell us who you are and what you're doing in the community, and what's your favorite important thing about yourself, like a hobby that people may or may not know that you have. Let's start this way, going down. They got a curve on.
Yes. Yes.
So, hey, my name is Alicia Nesbitt. I teach voice lessons to kids and adults, and I think that's right now what I'm doing to get back to the community, just start where I am. I sing opera professionally and a couple other genres too, R&B, classical, jazz, country, and yeah, that's me right now, and I'm ready to teach you.
My name is Lynn Hayes, and what I do is I am a community partner. My people call me Mama Lynn, and I enjoy that so much because I am a very deepest part. Something that you may not know that I do. I'm a preacher. A lot of people don't know that. 6 years of seminary to get there. Is that it?
I'm a bridge, I'm a connector, that is who I am naturally, and right now in the community, I am working with Harry, with a sleep study, so I'm looking for Black women who are ages 18 to 40, who are in their early trimester of pregnancy. So if you know anybody, send them my way, please. I do that as well. My husband and I, we have a business where we provide free education and services for our financial leaders. So we're on a crusade to make sure that no family is left behind, starting with our own. And I am also working to make sure that mothers know that their job and marriage is the most important thing they can do. So.
My name is Nancy. I'm a mom. I am a therapist in the preschool and also a therapist in the activity. I work with the Cycling Bed and also the Dream Initiative that says we must crack the population inside and outside the world. And I'm also a cognitive behavior director for the most even services we get for also on the outside with the fund or non-important.
Yeah, your most, what's your favorite unimportant thing about yourself, like a hobby or something?
I am a roller coaster enthusiast for sure. I, if you ask me, like, I'm trying to do called
Y'all give it up, man.
I'm Jenny Mack. I am an entrepreneur, owner of Smart Mom LLC. I'm a model, I'm a poet, and yeah, I love us. I love us. I also host Chakra Sister Circles. They are healing circles that I bring them together, and we talk about our chakras. I ask questions about those chakras, and we heal in this space together. So that is what I do. Also, just to bring some light onto some of the women that inspire me, my mother, and it's also pivoting into the next question, and also a mentor of mine, Ms. Linda Porter. She was one of the first women I seen who was a lady boss, and basically she was a manager at the East Branch Library when I was a kid. But I used to go over there, my friends and I would go every day, mess with Ms. Porter because we never seen a woman like her. She was also an entrepreneur outside of that, and she also just inspired me with creating safe spaces for young people and for women. So that shifts into the next question. So thinking back to who we are significantly, who impacted you significantly, what women did in your life, and how did they inform your habits, choices, when it comes to being a partner?
Whatever spirit comes to like to jump in. That's such a deeply rooted question. For me, personally, there were so many women along the way. It really takes a village. I learned that very young. Originally born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, and we didn't have all the resources. There's no book that tells mothers how to be mothers, and my mom did the best she could with everything she had, and I think she did great. But after a certain point, when you leave the nest, you only leave with the foundation that you were given. So from there, you have to fly with what you have, and along the way, I had to find other women who would be that example along the way. I couldn't just go off of just the foundation. You kind of have to build off of that foundation so that you can have a, upbringing. So I would say my first choir teacher in high school, she guided me into opera singing. She was retired opera singer, and she chose for me, even though I was rebellious. I didn't want to sing. I didn't want to take it seriously. She kind of chose for me. After that, I went to college, and the vice president of the university saw something in me that I don't think anyone ever saw. The way she spoke into me was like, I don't think anybody could reach me in that way. She brought me in her office and was just like, "Are you playing in school?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "I think you are. I think you need to come here every weekend and talk to me. I know I'm not your mom, but I see something in you, and sometimes it takes that. And it takes the courage to be that person too. So even having those women along the way in my life, it makes me be that person when I see other young girls too. It's kind of like, hey, I see you singing. Keep singing.
you asked a question about the maid, what was that part?
Thinking back, who were some women that significantly impact you, and how they inform your habits and choices when it comes to seeking a partner?
So my grandmother, I remember sitting at the kitchen table. She would have her egg bomb, and she would give me her sage wisdom. And that was things like, don't put no man from school. Make sure you look at how he treats his mother and the relationship that they have. Don't shack up. Because, you know, why buy the milk when you have the cow for free type of thing. And she shared stories that related to why she felt strongly about the things that she shared. As I got older, though, I began to think about those things from different perspectives. And I would say that it was the man who kind of helped me double down on what it was that I was looking for in a mate, more so than a woman. My mentor in college actually, you know, like sat down and had a conversation with me, and we kind of looked at it from an intellectual standpoint and talked about, you know, what is it that I want for myself. Kind of come out with like this 16-point program, and, you know, identify what my non-negotiables were, and then once I kind of settled on some things, then he told me, you go become that. And as you become what you're looking for, you will attract it. And so that was that part of the journey for me. There was the sister though in the process, because there was a period or stage of my life where I was intentionally looking for attracting a husband, and I was a single mother, and she told me to change my prayer, because at first I was looking for a husband, and so she told me to change my prayer from looking for a husband to looking for a husband and a father, because there was a difference. I wasn't just looking for a husband for myself, I was a single mother, so I needed a man who not only wanted to be a husband, but was ready to be a father. And once I changed my prayer, that's when that prayer was answered, and I was able to see that there were some men that, you know, if I was single, that might be great, but I'm not, you know, I have kids, and so I have to, you know, have some different expectations.
I have to say my mother. My mother influenced me greatly. And I want to preface this, a little talk that I would give about my mother to tell you that I was born in 1950. So I'm several generations away from many of y'all in this room. But my mother was born in 1902. So she would have been even further away. But my mother was a revolutionary type of woman. She was always determined to educate herself. I can remember the first class that I saw her take. She went to class and studied speech, how to present yourself in front of a group of people. Then the next thing I knew, she was taking typing. At this time, my mother was about maybe 61 or 62 years old. She lived until she was 96. But the thing that I will never forget about my mother is she was determined to get a car and to drive. And she did that about 62, 63 years old. She learned to drive, got her car, and immediately hit the road, from New Jersey. She hit the road to North Carolina. So that kind of inspired me. But the thing that I'm most curious about my mother, I remember her talking to me when I was about 16 years old. She gave me the talk, you know, the talk that everybody, you know, parent wants to really give their children. And so I was ready for all the prohibitions and all, not my mama. She said, don't marry anybody that you have not been intimate with. Because you don't want to. That's important. Now, apparently that was high up on my mama's list.
Now she knows you're talking about.
And I felt that, my mother, I junior her, so I thought that was okay, because I hadn't heard much about not having sex. I heard a lot about don't get pregnant, right, but the not having sex, I always scope that out. People are having sex, so don't even say that, okay? But not my mother. She wasn't having sex. In this talk, she politely informed me that her and my daddy were most active. I was through. I was like, oh no. And you know, I thought, how can this be? I never heard anything. They had separate bedrooms, and my mom's bedroom was next to mine. I should have heard something. Anyway, I don't know. So I appreciated that my mother said those things to me and taught me that way. And I wanted to be able to give the same thing to my children, to my girls. But they were already so steeped into whoever told them never have sex. But the advice there is good. It was almost too good. Because I'm sure I'm going to try to marry everybody I dated. But anyway, I suddenly found myself in trouble along those lines. And so I said, being a pregnant woman, I said, send me a husband or take me home to my mom so I can get this thing straight. And that my first husband came. That's all I asked for. I should have been more specific because I had more than one husband. But anyway, my mama. But I want to tell you something else. I never had the deep mentors that you all talked about. But I can recall, anybody remember Ebony Magazine? You know, the real Ebony that came to the house. And I remember I just would pour over the pages of Ebony Magazine and just look at all the things the women are doing, but it just seemed so far away that I would never be able to do that. I remember one day I saw the Reverend Dr. Renita Weems in Ebony Magazine, and she had just gotten her PhD in Old Testament studies, and it was a gorgeous picture, and I just touched the picture and caressed the picture, because I've never seen a black woman preacher, not let alone one who got a PhD. And so, in life has been good to me, so I actually know the Reverend Dr. Renita Weems, and I marvel at her and all the other women preachers of her ilk. And so, they may not know me, and they may not have poured into me personally, but they have through their sermons and across their pulpits.
That brings us to another question about those women that you all mentioned. From what you can remember about those women in your life, were they often acknowledged or appreciated for their impact? And if so, in what ways?
My mother was appreciated away from the home. My mother did day work. Everybody know what that is?
What's their word?
I don't know what day work is. Day work is what black women generally had to do in the time that my mother was coming up, and that was to clean other people's homes. But then, I think she was in her 60s. The government had this program for children in institutions. Back in the day, when someone had a Down syndrome child, they were never encouraged to keep that child. They were encouraged to send that child off to the institution. And that doesn't happen now that we found out they're special children. We can learn a lot from them, and they're wonderful and need to be with us. But my mother became a foster grandparent at this institution. She drove back and forth to that institution forth too. But, so I admire her from that standpoint, because that was almost like a professional job to me, because she had to be kind of like a psychology major, she had to be a nurse, she had to be all these things to actually take care of these young men. And she loved them, she loved these children. But, that my mother, again, now there's something I want to tell you, but I talked so long, I kind of forgot. Now, give me the last part of that question again.
If so, how, in what ways, when those wasn't appreciated for their impact?
Oh, appreciate it. Yes, my mother would receive certificates and all kinds of things, and she would even get gigs for public speaking. Greatly appreciated outside the home, not so much inside the home. It was a very sad, my father was mean. He didn't mean to be, and I think maybe I was the problem, because I was just so happy. You know, every day was magnificent to me. And so, I think, it's kind of, when people get old, they don't want to really be that happy. I mean, they go on the regular spectrum, but somebody that bounces out like the jack out of the box all the time, that's a little much. My dad used to say, you always take things too far. You just take everything too far. But I couldn't help it. I was laughing and enjoying myself. But my father was mean. And I don't think he meant to be mean. I just think that was life. That's what happened to him. I know he loved my mother, but he was mean. So I didn't ever want to be married to anyone like that. I didn't want to be married to a mean person that just on GP that day they were mean. She coped with that as well. Magnificently.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Shane. Next, we would like to speak to that question.
The only memory I have is my grandmother retiring and being celebrated. There was a lot of love given to her that day. And then I will share little stories or things on social media, and people tell me how much they appreciated my mother or my grandmother. So that's kind of how I see it. It's kind of after the fact. It wasn't something that was in my face to see while growing up. My grandfather was mean to they weren't nice to each other. Let me just keep it honest. But I also recognize too that they were from that early 1900s period where they were born. And so, as an adult, being aware, I now kind of go back and, reparent myself based on having a better understanding of who they were based on the world that they grew up in. But I don't see us being celebrated in the home enough. I feel like it's us relying on each other for that to take place.
We got to talk about this. You know, that question. Have you ever seen a woman be appreciated or acknowledged for their impact?
Growing up, my mother was married. My mother got married when I was 6. And before that, I was only in a single household. After that, she was married. I always saw that in the house. I always saw him showering her and my stepdad, I'm talking about, one way or another, showing her and telling her how much he loved her and appreciated her, and saw how she mothered me and my little sister, his biological mother. And in return, I saw how she reciprocated that. Is that the word? When he would get off work, he'd come in the house and she'd stop whatever she was doing, she'd run to the door. She'd see me coming up the driveway, she'd run to the door, she'd just wait. And I'd be in the kitchen like, he ain't come in, she wouldn't care. He'd come in, and she'll give him that lovely kiss, welcome home, and then she'll return to what she was doing. At this special without knowing when I was younger. But now that I'm wired, I see and I get it because I saw it. But she wouldn't have been there, I don't think, if he hadn't been there. You know, since he was, she was, and seeing that really impacted me.
All right, I'm gonna ask the next question. Right. What's the deal with love and respect with regards to the What, I'm trying to, what's the deal? It says, what's the deal with love and respect in regards to a relationship? I don't know what that is, I don't know where it comes from, but like, but how do you interpret it?
Let me see if I can help you with that a little bit. In modern times with white evangelicals, they will teach you that women need love and men need respect. But since I'm a black heretic, I say that we both need love and we both need respect. Just that simple. Just that simple. We both need, women need love, intense love, like as this young lady has described. And we need respect. Men need love, intense love, and they need respect.
I was just reading about this. Women need love, men need respect. So it's in the Bible. I can't quote the scripture, but it's in there. And the reason being is because men, it says something like, husbands love their wives, wives respect your husband. And it's because men receive love as respect, and women receive respect as love. So I'm going to give you an example, okay? So, God, my husband, better example. He just finished his exam today, and he passed. If I go home and I ignore him, I just say congratulations, good job, honey. And then I kind of go, I start cooking, put my headphones on, just cook, watching my movie and cooking, whatever. He may not say anything, but if I do the adverse, if I switch that around and I come in and I'm like, honey, let's just take a minute and just talk about it. What was it like? You spent more than 100 hours practicing, studying, and ready for this exam so that he could actually pass. Like, talk to me, what was it like? It's a 4-hour exam. Like, what's that? Give me that. Walk me through it. Just that, I'm engaged, I'm listening, I'm waiting, I'm here. That respect that you give a friend, that's love for him. For me, I don't really want to go all in detail about, my performance and how great it was today, but just the fact that he's like, oh, you sang, how you go? Lovey-dovey, little, like, not girly, but, he's there in a different way. It's a little bit more of a nurturing kind of part of him that he lets him to show me that, which is love to me. It just looks different. And I feel like that. Can you read that question one more time?
What's the deal with love and respect in regards to relationship?
I feel like the deal with that is when the fact that if we can understand that men need love as respect and women need love as respect, that's it, right?
Men need respect and love, and women need love and respect.
Yeah, it'll equate just the same. It's just respect will come, love will come. Just to that thing, giving each other both of that, all of it, not 50%, 100%. It comes, and it's given both.
Can I say something to you about that? Something to the group about that? That works fine if everybody's squarely feminine and everybody's squarely masculine. no gas or anything, but I'm non-binary. I don't see myself as squarely feminine or masculine. I see myself, I embody, I'm more masculine than I am feminine, okay? And I need, all the details, just like your husband. You told your husband, 3 hours. I need all of that. Ask me everything. Where did I park my car? How long did it take? Well, I need all of that said to me. It's not enough just to feel I just love you, you didn't know. It's not enough conversation. So, but then on the other hand, this is my darling husband right here, and our little grandson. On the other hand, I treat him in the way that I want to be treated, and it's way too much information for me. I know all that. I'm already composing a song in my head. I never do a long time. What you say? And so you have to figure it out for yourself in the relationship that you're in. I think that's, and I agree with you. I agree with what you said. But I think that was what was wrong about the teaching, to say women need this and men need that. Find out what you really need. Examine yourself and figure out for yourself what you need in that relationship, in that season. Right.
What's the deal?
I'm with you, Mom.
Alright, so next question. That's good. That was good. You know, I want to speak to that. Did y'all want to speak to that in your class?
That resonated with me. I'm gonna tell the whole story. And I want to hear the whole story. I get upset when you don't share the whole story. It's kind of boring. And I am also a master.
Different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? Because independent, because for me, like, I'm kind of like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be doing something really dope, but to me, it's like, it's super light. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, she'll be like, well, what about this? What about that? I'm like, man, it's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it'll be certain stuff like that might not seem as big to her. And I'm like, no, but this is what's really big to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it could be confusing sometimes. Or sometimes I would also not confusing, but you know, different strokes for folks and depending on what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I can totally relate with everybody's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because depending on who I'm talking to, what the situation is, what's going on, who's impacted, who's, you know, all that good stuff. So I think I'll have responses. If you want to ask that,
I will consider the question.
what's the deal?
The deal, I think it's based off of the partner. So we are discussing about partners, like, I think for me is that I would give out the love that I wanted, like, from my mom. So I reciprocate it to my partner. Because naturally I learned that men have emotions or are emotional, but they don't have a safe space to project that to them. So I try to have a safe space with my partner for him to be that to make me cry or whatever the case may be. So I get the unconditional love factor, but I hope with that you see that as that also you respect me on the back end because I don't have to do that. Or in a way, me allowing you to be vulnerable, I hope you respect me enough to be vulnerable with you and not use that against me. It's just like a little line with that. And there's certain times where I want to give respect for what I do, but at the same capacity, I think because I do so much, I just want like the I don't want anybody to feel like I did this, and I hope I'm exhausted. You know, sometimes I always want to talk at the end of the day, and I hope that's of the respect for them because I've had partners where I communicate so much, I just know where I don't want to communicate, I just want to be in your presence, whereas I don't respect it all the time. So I think we just
I totally relate to that. What's next? From your experience, what are the factors that constitute love? What makes love love? How do you, what makes love love? From your experience, what are the factors that constitute love? What is love to you? You know what I'm saying? As far as whether intimate, platonic, romantic, like. But I guess in this case, women appreciation is more intimate, right? So like, what is love to you?
Love to me, I can say, love to me right now, is my partner. I love him. And, there are days where I don't have to attack such a good everything. Love is with Canada or the old, whether it's me playing my kids and me losing crazy in my mind if I can. But playing with my kids, honestly. I am a very mental person, and so when you captivate me mentally, they be emotional because I am such a female, then everything else follows. My body follows. It's never an incident at first. Like, for me, that's fine. But when you can get my mind, create that safe space, to get like my spirit, everything else, my body naturally follows. Everything follows. You create that environment where I can just be me, not the therapist, not the mom, not the coach, not nothing, just be. That's good.
Love for me is deep, deep, deep security. Love for me is knowing that the doors are locked and I'm safe. Love for me is knowing that I don't have to worry about the lights being cut off. Not that I've been worried about that, but yes, because that's what I saw my parents do. My parents, even though they had their moments, they worked together on everything concerning our home. My parents literally built this house themselves. Many nights I'd be in my bedroom and they would be hammering or whatever. I tell you a funny story. The house was 2 stories, so my bedroom was over the kitchen part of the house. And one night, I don't know what happened, but I heard these footsteps, and they would come, they would start at the bathroom, and they would come towards my room, and then they would stop. I'm hearing it from downstairs. I was terrified. I'm a little kid, and so I could watch the Twilight Zone. I was terrified. Years later, I asked my parents about that, and somehow, and this is what they told me, flies had gotten into the house, and they were swatting flies on the ceiling. And they did it together. They did it together. They maintained this home together. My husband, Ron Hayes, makes sure that I want for nothing. And we had agreements before we even got married on how we were going to do our money and stuff. Every time I try to put my money in the same checking account of his, I start crying. I just couldn't do it. I mean, we had the names on there, the bag and everything. I'm like, I can't do this because I can't ask you for my money. I just can't. I don't know how to do this. And he said, why are you torturing yourself? Just put it in your checking account. My checking account. And that's how we did it. But I didn't know that you could do it like that. I was so accustomed to the man saying definitively, this is how you're going to do it. And we can discuss it, blah, 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 blah. And so I was terrified. I even gave him my Ron a budget on how we were going to do our life. And this is how we do our life. He takes care of everything in our house. I take care of me. I have grown children, so whatever they need, I take care of me. And it makes it so simple. It works because I better go outside my budget. I'm never trying to get the credit cards, his credit cards, and go charge. I'm never trying to do that. He's never saying, oh, I could pay out to pay this much. He's never doing that. That is what I mean by keeping the back door locked. Find out what it is that you're gonna agree to do, and then stick to have reasonable, conversations about how you want it to be. Don't get married or have a living person and you've never discussed anything. Because then people won't do anything, including you. I'm sorry, but that's what it is.
I agree. That's good. I think it's different strokes for different folks. I think you said it just right. I mean, you gotta know who you are, pairing up with. You gotta know that person inside and out. And you'll get that back. I think that's the best way to answer that. It's different strokes for different folks.
All right. Your experience, what are the factors constitute? So, your experience, what are the factors that constitute respect? Okay. I'm gonna use like. So, your experience, what are the factors that constitute respect? Like, okay, y'all broke down what is love and what love looks like in the home. So, what is like respect look like for you?
I think to me, one of the main things that constitutes respect is being heard and making the other person feel heard. I think a lot can be broken or mended just based on that alone. Nobody wants to be in a conversation where they can't speak or be heard because it makes it just meaningless. And I think that can really break a lot of things, especially at home. So I think that's number one.
This is amazing to me. I hadn't really thought about whether or not Ron respects me or not, but I think this is a truth for me. Two things. I pastored a church in Paris, Tennessee, and in all of my Methodists, so in all of my ordinations and wherever I would go to go to the next level, Ron was with me, and he was the perfect pastor's wife, spouse. We mixed with roles, y'all. Perfect pastor's spouse. I mean, and we didn't discuss that, but he was with me with, whenever I was to be elevated to the next level, he would make sure that he was there. So I'm thinking in my brain, he's fine with this journey, he's fine doing this. The church in Paris, he would drive, I would drive from Memphis, because I was in seminary, he would drive from Nashville, and we'd meet in Paris. And he would, go clean the church. I'm like, I ain't gonna clean the church, because I sure wouldn't go. But he would go and clean the church. He was my musician. He made sure our music was fun. I mean, those were things I didn't have to ask for. He just did it for me. He just did it for me. That's respect. That is respect. And it was amazing. Let me tell you something else he did for me. Last year, I received an honor, a great honor. And he wrote my resume. He didn't ask me any questions. They asked me for a little bio, and my husband he wrote my life. Oh my gosh, I'll never get over that. And it was all correct. I will just never get over that disrespect. If you marry a person and you have a spouse and they can write your life, you better hold on to them.
I can follow that.
Ladies, can you have one without the other? Can you have love without respect? Can you have respect without love? That is the question in this segment. Can you have one without the other? Because you are Now, can you stay in relationships without respect? I can love you, but I can't be in a relationship, not a romantic relationship, if I don't respect you. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I can love you, I don't have to, yeah, but I can't be in a romantic relationship without respect. I'll be able to behave the way that you, you won't appreciate it. And I've seen myself show up that way sometimes. And that, leave. Unfortunately, I think it reminds me of how I feel like I grew up. Where I would tell myself that the arguments have their way of communicating and know how to communicate outside of, you know, that way.
I believe that if you love someone, you will respect someone. I mean, you'll respect them if you love them. If you don't love them, then you hardly respect them. That's just that. I mean, if you love them, you respect them. It won't be that hard. And respect is different for different people. So if I feel like, you know, if I feel like my husband wrapping my hair is a sign of respect for me, and he's cool with that, then great. If he's not, then we always have a conversation. I don't, by the way, I don't wrap my hair, but just so you know, if you love somebody, it's easy to make those accommodations, whatever it is, different strokes, different folks. I feel like you did it right now. It's easy to make compromises in a relationship. You just kind of know who you get involved with. It's just the best way to foundation.
I'm going to add this. This is not necessarily my situation, but it kind of is. Sometimes you're not in love. I don't know what in love. I don't know what in love or love. I don't know. Sometimes neither one of those things when you marry. Sometimes it's a business arrangement. And if it is a business arrangement, then you can still respect the person. Old people have that in mind because we don't want to be by ourselves. Now, that's not my whole situation entirely, but I will admit this. I was divorced in 2005. I thought things would be fine until I looked at my bottom line. It was $22,000 a year. Everywhere I went looking for an apartment, I was just $5 over, $5 over making what I could in order to live there. I didn't understand. So I was quite worried. But, you know, it's just kind of a thing. You feel, you know, you don't have enough money for food, you don't have enough money for a car, you know, and because of who I am and who I was at that time, I didn't even envision myself going back to school, doing anything else. I just really didn't see that at that time. I should have seen it, but I didn't see it. I didn't see it. And if I had known my lovely daughter-in-law at that time, Mary, she would have told me, oh, you can do this, you can do that, you can do the other. You know, just tell me you are handicapped. You know, whatever. Because I was. Then you go into another category. I'm still figuring out, you know, middle income, you know. I've got my husband out there. So you see what I'm saying? So sometimes you create liaisons. Oh, entangled, no, not entanglements. Liaisons in order to survive. And if you know you've created that type of thing, and love is not part of it, you have to have respect for it in order to maintain whatever that relationship looks like.
When you say that I'm classifying that as like a relationship, are you saying when someone would have like a liaison, are you saying that in regards to them being in relationships?
Yes, in relationships all the way to marriage. Old people make those kinds of decisions, you know, in order to survive. Everybody's not a millionaire. So,
I agree.
you know, Social Security's looking funny.
Even
They
after
change
you said,
the check lingo in terms of what work, the lingo is what role, what I would say, what position do you have? What's your job title? What you gonna say to me? What role do I have? Oh, yeah. I have to learn how to start using that word. What role? You know? So,
I mean, even years ago, when you said that your mom was born in 1902, back then, I mean, women weren't living on their own incomes until old age back then either. I think naturally that was the way things was even back then. Now things have changed because things are different. I think now things have changed because resources are different and now, you know, women's rights have changed and all of that. But, you know, I agree, I believe you. Things have changed. And people do make business arrangements in getting married, but in regards to having love and respect, can you go one without the other? I think still you have to start with love. I think later if love fades away, that's fine. Respect will still stay because of the arrangement. You still have to know who you get along with. That's the only thing I'm trying to, you know, it can fade off and love can fade away. That's natural. Love can fade away. But
you know,
it
what
can't
can't
be
be
what
done.
foundation is, because if you build it on sand, the house is gonna slide out. If you build it on stone, then if love leaves, if he can't walk no more, if she can't have babies, and y'all thought y'all was gonna build this family, and the money ain't there, you build on stone, you know? So,
You know what trumps love for me? Liking the person. I like my husband.
me too.
I like him.
Me too. I feel that.
I like all everything. Makes me happy. Where, you know, I'm not trying to, one time he came to me and said, "Hey, one time he came to me and said, I'm thinking about buying a suit. I said, why would you buy a suit? Now we deep in the church and everything, so I guess he thought he needed to wear a suit. I said, no, I don't want to get you a suit. I want to get you in a hoodie, in your beautiful blue jeans, in your tennis shoes. I want to see you like that. You can't try to fix up nothing different there. Because I don't know how that will look. Because that's not what I set my eyes on. So that trumps this love thing. You like somebody. If you would just think about it. Do you like your wife?
Well, what about the things you don't like?
You give them respect. Give them respect.
If the bonds are good, the foundation is strong, I think we can agree that, you know, the days you don't like them, are still here with, because I know you. The days that I don't really want to look at you right now, we still here because the bonds are good. I think we can agree. Okay.
Thank you, ladies, for sharing those beautiful perspectives. So, I'm gonna throw out that question, and this is going to lead into my next question. So, chivalry, okay? This is a combination of qualities stated of the ideal knight, we're not in Renaissance times anymore. especially courage, honor, courtesy, justice, and readiness to help the weak. So ladies, my question is, in 2024, is chivalry dead? Why or why not?
I will say this, but it's rare. It's very rare, and I 1,000% blame social media for sure. I'm not gonna say I'm the person, but the new folks, they make it hard for men to be men. Because now they're trying to meet expectations of artists or people that are tax brackets above them and hold. So I think this video of the Shade Room came out 2 months ago where that man waited around for hours, got flowers, ready to come on a date, and she left him there with nothing, and he was crying. And it's like he was very excited to actually be in her presence, to like treat her how she kept posting how she wanted to be treated. So that was super there for me. Like you were coming with respect, with courage for one, because a lot of men are not that courageous to come out and like that. And just ready to pay for her for an evening. And you left that man standing there with no explanation. And like, oh, like you're not even giving these guys a chance to be up to that expectation, to that level. And you hurt them, and then what happens? And they start treating you like her, and then you want to chase after them. Or the men that are coming with that negative mindset and everything, and we call them the scammers, the killboys, all that stuff. And they're chasing after them and wondering why they can't find a good man or a chivalrous man. Look what you're looking at. There are men out there that are at that apex. You have to change your religion to find the line with them. I mean, money will come and go, clothes will come and go, but a man's respect, love, character, morals, everything he built himself on, even from childhood, it wasn't right. Whatever age he was supposed to take a stand to become a man and stand on that, like he's bringing all that to the table. So I mean, it's there. It's just, and I can see her.
I would say that it's not good. I would say that it's up to you to attract it. Because I would say that men address who's in front of them. So if that's the energy, that's who you are, what's your expectations, what you, how you carry yourself deserving of it, I think it shows up.
I agree. I think, back then when chivalry was most prominent, they had like finishing school. Is it finishing school? Where the girls were being taught how to accept chivalry, and the boys during that time were being taught how to do chivalrous things. And now we're in an age where you'll get cussed out to hold the door for some, for a young lady. You'll get cussed out. Like, women want to be empowered in every way. Like, don't break my plate to me. Let me make my plate. That's how a lot of women of this generation think. So now when we get into a relationship, you kind of gotta give them permission to be like, hey, can you open my door for me? I like that kind of thing. Is it possible that you can do that? But this generation, parents don't teach the kids. Tell them to open the door for you. Tell them you like that feeling day. Let him know. But then, so you have like a percentage of the girls that are like, open the door for me, or, I want to talk to you, that's my respect. And then you have a percentage of girls that are like, I'll fight you if you don't open the door. So what do we expect them to do? So, I mean, chivalry is like, it's not dead, but it's a part of that percentile of separation now. It's kind of like the guys don't know, because we don't require it. Not all of us.
Man, so am I chivalrous? How long, what we doing, what the boss man? How much, how much time we got, what we going to? Going to the six, okay. Yeah, question? I do, I just didn't want to run on my time. So, the next question is, we appreciate you, answering these questions. That was a good question, right? That was a good question. I want to ask you all, how do you uplift other women? How do you uplift other women? Or how do you currently show women that you appreciate them? You know, I'm talking about how you've seen them be appreciated, but like, what are you doing to take that step to show your appreciation for something that
I don't mind number one saying thank you, because a lot of times we don't do that. Women, we do things without even thinking about getting thank you or I appreciate you. So I make sure I say that for that. With the women in my life, I surprise them with things like I'll do messages, for the rest of me, affirmation when they wake up throughout the day, you know, what kind of day it is. I send random gifts to some of their favorite stuff. Or say they go to if they're having a hard day, I swear to goodness, I will go on my break and do like a care basket. And I'm like, hey, what can I do? It's there. And just like show like I see you. I just show like I see you. If you're not good or you have a great day, I will celebrate you for having a bad day because then you bring that gap for you. I try to show up how I would want them to show up for me on my high and my low.
You don't try.
I do. But there are days where I mess up, so like when I have like my days like today, like I'm at my waist end, before I was very draining, and I realized like I still need to show up, and I had my best friend like for it to be the same way I would want to if we had the same moment. So it's just a reciprocation factor for sure, but my days maybe just like because I grew up not having that strong bond women, and it was like, I don't let it go. But like I did. So just making sure a little bit of love is there that's present. Like you don't like no one loves you like I do.
You said question one time.
The question is, how do you uplift me?
One of the things that I do is I'm a cheerleader for my friends. I'm somebody that can bounce ideas off, and I'm gonna run with it and bring whatever it is that they're trying to bring to life. Like I'm gonna talk about it in such a way that it becomes clear for them, and I'm a safe space in terms of like their dreams. I'm gonna nurture it and carry it like it's my own. And then from that moment forward, like whoever I know, think of, like if it's anything that I can do to assist, I'm going to do that. So I'm kind of like a leader for them and their, I consider myself to be a lifespan. So I just, help them make it come past this. For me, I feel like we all need somebody to believe in the impossible, because a lot of us will have a dream and it seems so, far in the distance, right? And it's not necessarily for me. Like I can see it, and I can tell them how, I can see it. And I just go all And so, it's something that my friends appreciate. Like, I have a girlfriend, we get off the phone, she write books. So I'm like, I don't have a book yet, but she has at least 2 or maybe 3 from having conversations with me. And so I love being able to do that for people. That makes me have a natural high.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I listen. I'm a listener. I listen and I pour. I try to pour out as much as I can when after I listen. Because I think a lot of us ladies, we just want to be heard. We just want to be heard a little bit. Just get an ear sometimes. Sometimes we don't really want any advice. Sometimes we don't really want to, get anything back. We just want to be heard. And so I listen. I found last time I was downtown. I had just finished a performance, and before I went home, I was exhausted, like physically just done. And I was headed to the car, and I saw a girl sitting like on the stairs by Bridgestone. And she just sitting there, she was crying. I mean, crying, like into her knees, arms wrapped around her knees, like a child just crying. And I was really tired, y'all. Like, I'm ready to go home. I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to look at anybody, I just want to go. And I saw her, and I'm just like, and so I went, and I'm like, hi, you want to talk about it? I didn't even have the energy. I'm just like, you want to talk about it? And she was like, yeah. So I sat there, and I think I sat with that girl for maybe an hour, and just listened. I just listened. And afterwards, I was like, you want any advice or a suggestion? I had some, but I'm cool with my sharing. If that's not something you want. And she was like, not really. I just kind of want somebody to listen. I'm like, not me. And I just listened for a few more minutes, and I was like, keep on safe. Like, would you call your parents so they can pick you up? I was freshman in college, but can you call somebody? She's like, yeah, I'll call them now. She's like, pick up, boom. I felt good about that, and I feel like listening does more than we think it does. And as women, we naturally nurture us, naturally, like by birth, it just is in us, hearts to nurture. So if we kind of lean into that a little bit, we can make a whole difference in this world. Just nurture.
Indeed. I think I want to talk a little about what we do with women. We did a season called Love Your Black Woman, where we would have black women come in, such as Megan came through. She was our first guest, and we have my queen that she do like live art. You know what I'm saying? And I think we strive to like uplift women is just like you said, listening, but also learning. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, including someone in a way that they already like doing something like painting, like drawing, you know what I'm saying? And also like giving them flowers and stuff like that. So I think, stuff like that is like how we went about uplifting women and how we try to show our love and affection for black women, especially my black women, because she's like my home, real talk. So I appreciate you. I think we want to switch it a little bit. And that's probably like get some questions from the crowd and see if they want to, ask a few questions. That's cool. You got a question? Yeah, we do.
But I just wanted to ask the lady, so other than hair, nails, or makeup, how do you take time to appreciate yourself and make yourself feel good?
I'm gonna go first. I am very sad that. And I just, tonight I have no eyelashes. They probably falling off, but I was determined to have these eyelashes on. I said, everybody's wearing eyelashes, and I need to be on eyelash training. And I was so excited, I was like, I gotta get up on. But I'm just not good and I didn't notice it until I began to take care of the fellow right there. Honey, Amazon, I bet the Amazon driver said, who in the world is living here now? Because boxes was coming from all directions. I mean, wow, I thought, I'll do that for me. So I'm gonna bring this back into, what do you do for other black women? I'm an encourager. I hurt my leg about 2 years ago, so I can't really get around like I like to get around. So I do a lot of things on the telephone. My daughter-in-law, I was thinking about her one day, and I said, I gotta call her, tell her this. And I gave her a call, I said, look here, we are in this family together, we got to do all blah, 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 blah. And so we started out on this little journey. I love her instantly. But when it kind of grown apart just because of things in life. But now I don't want to lose her. I don't want to lose Janelle. Do you know the thrill I had when I didn't see her picture? When her picture showed up, I said, oh, she's on the panel with us. Oh, that's wonderful. That was a thrill. I was so excited. I'm excited to be in the presence of lovely women. I'm excited to look at the array of women and see who's real feminine. You know, the picture's so feminine. It is not everything, you know. And I just say, oh, I wish I could be me, but it can't be. And I'm so sweet, it is sweet, just sweet little lady, just sweet. I wish they could be, but it would never be. But I am right. I am what I am, and I love intensely, and I love black women. I'm saying that because I'm a womanist. I'm a womanist. You know, and so what I really do to help black women is I try to preach and liberate these women in the Bible. You know, the venerable women and the women in bleeding all this. I try to liberate those women so you're not sitting in the pews feeling bad about yourself. The man preachers up there preaching about your experience. What was healed? Okay, that's all I need to say right there.
So, for me, massages, recently the sound, but always, they did the sound bag, and we were floating in a heated pool. It was everything. It was everything. And then the man turned and looked at us and said, you want me to turn the heat up? I said, did a minute? If we want the water, it's like, yes. So I look forward to doing that more. But I've recently become more intentional about self-care because I too have been neglecting myself. And so a sister friend has me now committed to taking a bath every Thursday. So I get whatever flowers I have, and I put them in my bath water, and I put my lavender oil, and I put my whatever sea salt or bath and salt I got. Done working with at that time, and some rose water, and I sit in the bathtub for like an hour or maybe two, and listen to all kinds of good vibrations. And sometimes just take a shower and wash my hair just to work out. So that I would say. And then it's time with sisterhood. That's always rejuvenating. So thank God for this.
Short story, very short story. I just started an avocado tree. I'm trying to grow avocado tree indoors. And I had to do research on weed work. Taking care of weeds, how do you take care of weeds? Because now it's kind of sprouting up, it's got a little bit of a,